next installment in the Chef's Kitchen video series. Today we are going to be talking about a couple of things. One, how to hone or steel your knife. And two, talking about some of the classical knife cuts. We will be taking a look at small, medium, large dice, as well as a julienne. We will be using onions today to do that. But before we get started, let's talk about steeling or honing our knives. This is the chef's steel. It is a magnetized piece of steel that is used to align the edge of your knives, not necessarily sharpen the knives. So here we have our 8-inch chef's knife. As we talked about in our last video series, this is something that is a very useful tool, a very versatile tool. This is something that every chef has in their roll kit, as it is a great utility knife that can be used for numerous things. So, in order to steel or hone our knife, you hold your steel at a 45-degree angle. You then bring the end of the knife up to the steel, and at a 25-degree angle, bring the knife down the steel. You do the same thing on the other side of the blade. So at a 25-degree angle, bring the knife down, just like that. This is going to be a little awkward at first, but with lots of practice, you should be able to do it efficiently and effectively. Now that we have honed our knife and our edge is good and sharp, we're going to go ahead and start producing our classic knife cuts. The first thing that we will need to do is take our onion and get it ready to dice. So the first two cuts that we will make are taking 1/2 an inch off of the top of the onion and 1/2 of an inch off of the bottom of the onion. So what this does is this gives us a nice flat surface to work with on both sides, and it will take the stem end and the root end off. These can now just be placed in your trim bin. So we will now take one vertical cut right down the center of the onion, which will now produce 2 halves. Now, this very shiny, papery skin that you see has to be removed because it is not edible. So we will peel that layer off of the onion on both halves of our onion. Okay. So now our onions are ready to produce our knife cuts. So the first thing that we need to do is make a horizontal cut 3/4 of the way through our onion. We do not want to cut all the way through our onion because then it will be very hard to dice. So with our knife held horizontally, you have one finger on the back of the blade. You will take the knife 3/4 of the way through the onion. So you can see here, my knife has not quite gone through the onion. We will pull it out, and then we will rotate the onion 90 degrees to get ready to make our next cut. Now, at this point, since we are doing small dice, we need to make vertical lines all the way across the onion at 1/4 inch segments. A small dice is 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch squared. So we're going to go ahead and make our vertical cuts. And you may have a small piece that comes off with that first cut. That's fine, not a big deal. So as we go across, take your time to ensure that all of your cuts are at 1/4 inch intervals. Now that we've made all of our vertical cuts, we're going to rotate the onion 90 degrees, and then we will do a vertical cut all the way across the face of the onion. So, one vertical cut down, and you can see now we have already started to produce some of our small dice with that very first cut. So, as you can see right here, this would be considered a perfect small dice. It is 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch square. So, as we continue to move through, the onion, we will have more and more small dice that is produced, and we will cut all the way back to the very end. This piece is left. This is where we didn't cut through. This piece can now be saved for stock, vegetable stock, beef stock, something like that, or it can be chopped up for something that doesn't require a fine or precise dice. So now that we have all our small dice done, we're going to take and put it into our hotel pan, and that is small dice.